Welcome to our deep dive today.
Okay.
We're going to be exploring an article called Taking the First Step in Uncertainty.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it really resonated with me when I read it, and
Yeah.
I think it will for you too.
Absolutely.
The article is by Amy K. Watson, who, in addition to being a leadership coach, is a professional certified coach with the International Coach Federation and a certified master trainer.
Wow.
Yeah, she's worked with people from all walks of life, helping them overcome those moments where they feel stuck.
Right.
And one of the things she emphasizes is how we often hesitate even when we know taking action would benefit us.
That's so true.
Like that classic example Amy K uses in the article is the car repair rebate.
Oh, yeah.
We get the work done, receive the rebate form, and fully intend to fill it out, but then...
Life gets in the way.
Exactly.
And that seemingly simple task gets pushed aside.
Right. And companies actually anticipate this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they factor in that a percentage of people won't claim their rebates.
That's fascinating.
So,
A fascinating insight into the psychology of procrastination.
yeah, and Amy K points out that this isn't just about laziness or bad time management.
Right.
There are deeper anxieties at play, that fear of the unknown, the potential for failure, or simply making the wrong choice.
It can be paralyzing.
Exactly.
What's so interesting is that Amy Kay doesn't just leave us with the problem.
Right.
She offers tangible solutions.
Right.
One of her key insights is the cost of procrastination.
Yeah.
She gives the example of a client who put off updating their resume, and that led them to miss out on their dream job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she actually quantifies this cost, highlighting how procrastination can impact our finances, our relationships, even our health.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's easy to just kind of brush off procrastination as a minor annoyance. But when you look at the potential consequences, it's clear that it's a much bigger issue.
Exactly. And it's not just about missing out on specific opportunities.
Right.
Procrastination can also lead to this pervasive feeling of being stuck, reinforcing the belief that things can't change, especially as we get older.
Yeah, that's a feeling I think a lot of us can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we hit a certain age and suddenly we think it's too late to make significant changes.
Oh, absolutely. And Amy Kay directly addresses this misconception in the article.
Okay.
She recounts a conversation with someone who felt their age limited their future prospects.
Right.
And Amy Kay's response is brilliant.
Oh, I'm curious.
She points out that if this person is reading her article, it means they clearly haven't given up on shaping their future. They're seeking change and actively engaging with her ideas.
Right.
This highlights a crucial point. It's never too late to start working towards what you want. Age is just a number.
I love that reframing. It's so empowering.
Yeah.
But it also raises the question of time. Even if we believe we can still make changes, time keeps ticking away.
Right.
How does Amy Kay address this sense of urgency?
Well, she emphasizes that time moves forward regardless of our actions. A year from now, will we be closer to our goals or further away? It's a powerful question that prompts us to consider the consequences of inaction.
It is a wake-up call.
It is.
So it leads us to the question of how we can break free from this procrastination trap.
Right.
What does Amy Kay suggest?
One of her core messages is the power of small steps.
Okay.
Instead of getting overwhelmed by the enormity of a goal, she advocates for breaking it down into manageable chunks. Focus on taking one small, meaningful step, even if it doesn't feel perfect.
It's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Precisely. And Amy Kay doesn't just offer this as a general concept.
Right.
She delves into the specifics.
Okay.
For instance, if your goal is to write a book, she suggests starting with a 15-minute writing session.
Okay.
Or even just brainstorming ideas.
Okay.
The key is to find an action that moves you forward and create consistency from there.
So it's not about any random action,
Right.
but one that's both achievable and aligned with our overall goal.
Exactly. Amy Kay calls these micro actions, and they're designed to build momentum.
I love the idea of micro actions. It makes taking that first step so much less daunting.
It does. It shifts the focus from the overwhelming end goal to the present moment,
Right.
making the journey more manageable.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I remember a time when I was putting off applying for a new job.
Oh, yeah.
The whole process felt so overwhelming that I kept finding excuses, but then I decided to simply update my resume.
Okay.
And that one small step gave me the momentum to keep going, and I eventually landed the job.
That's a fantastic example of how a small step can create a ripple effect. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going.
Right.
And that feeling of accomplishment, even from a small step, can be incredibly motivating.
Absolutely. It reinforces the belief that we can make progress.
Yeah.
It's like a small victory that fuels our confidence to keep taking more steps.
And as we continue taking those steps, we inevitably encounter doubts and objections.
Oh, yeah.
It's like our inner critic is trying to sabotage us.
Right.
It's completely natural to feel hesitant when stepping outside our comfort zone. But Amy Kay reminds us that these doubts don't have to control us.
So it's not about being fearless, but rather acknowledging those fears and acting anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amy Kay provides a framework for dealing with doubts.
Okay.
First, she encourages us to simply notice them without judgment. Then she suggests we explore the root of those doubts. Are they based on past experiences, limiting beliefs, or simply fear of the unknown?
Okay.
By understanding the source of our doubts, we can begin to challenge and reframe them.
That's a powerful strategy. Instead of letting our doubts dictate our actions, we can use them as opportunities for self-reflection and growth.
Precisely. Amy Kay emphasizes that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action in the face of fear. And each time we do that, we build our resilience and expand our capacity for growth.
This all comes from Amy Kay, who also specializes in helping people manage everyday anxieties.
Right.
She understands the power of that inner critic and offers tools to quiet those negative voices.
It's clear that Amy Kay's diverse background has shaped her approach.
Yeah.
She's able to blend practical strategies with a deep understanding of human psychology, creating a roadmap for navigating uncertainty and achieving our goals.
It's like she's giving us permission to be human,
Yeah.
to be imperfect, and to embrace the messy process of growth.
And that's where the real magic happens, when we let go of the need to be perfect.
Right.
We free ourselves to experiment, take risks, and discover who we truly are.
It sounds like Amy Kay is encouraging us to approach life with a sense of curiosity and adventure rather than fear and trepidation.
Yes, and to remember that we don't need all the answers before we start.
Right.
We can figure things out as we go learning and adapting along the way.
This resonates with me on such a deep level.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that we have the capacity to create the life we want one small step at a time.
I agree. And it all starts with that first, seemingly insignificant step. The key is to simply start to take action and trust that the journey will unfold as it should.
I love that. I feel so inspired by Amy Kay's message. It's a reminder that we don't have to have it all figured out to move forward.
Right.
We can embrace uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and discovery.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can welcome it with open arms, knowing that it holds the potential for incredible adventures and unexpected joy.
So what are some of the concrete ways that Amy Kay suggests we can begin taking those small steps?
Sure.
Can you give us some specific examples?
Of course, let's say you've been wanting to start a new exercise routine,
Okay.
but feel overwhelmed by the thought of joining a gym or committing to a rigorous schedule. Amy Kay might suggest starting with a simple 10-minute walk each day.
Okay.
Or trying a free online workout video.
That's a great example. It's about breaking down those seemingly insurmountable goals into bite-sized pieces that feel manageable.
Exactly. And it's not just about physical goals. Let's say you've been wanting to learn a new language, but feel intimidated by the complexity of grammar and vocabulary.
Right.
Amy Kay might suggest starting with a language learning app that focuses on basic phrases and vocabulary.
So it's about finding a starting point that feels both accessible and enjoyable. It's about taking the pressure off and focusing on the process of learning.
Precisely. And the beauty of taking these small steps is that they often lead to unexpected discoveries.
Okay.
As we start moving forward, we gain momentum and uncover hidden strengths and passions we didn't even know we had.
That's so true. It's like we're unlocking a hidden potential within ourselves simply by taking that first courageous step.
And as we continue taking those steps, we start to build a sense of self-efficacy, a belief in our own ability to make things happen.
I can imagine that this increased self-efficacy would have a ripple effect throughout our lives.
Absolutely. It can impact our relationships, our careers, and our overall sense of well-being.
This makes me think about Amy Kay's emphasis on managing everyday anxieties.
Yeah.
I'm curious, does she offer any specific techniques for quieting that inner critic
She does.
that can often hold us back?
One technique she recommends is mindfulness meditation.
Okay.
By focusing on our breath and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can create a sense of space between ourselves and our inner critic.
So it's about learning to detach from those negative thoughts and not let them control us.
Exactly. Another technique she suggests is journaling.
Okay.
By writing down our thoughts and feelings,
Right.
we can gain a better understanding of our inner critic's patterns
Mhm.
and develop strategies for countering those negative messages.
Those are great suggestions. It sounds like Amy Kay offers a toolbox of practical techniques that we can use to manage our anxiety and move forward with confidence.
She does, and she emphasizes that it's not about eliminating those doubts and fears entirely,
Right.
but rather learning to navigate them in a healthy and productive way.
This is so insightful.
Yeah.
I feel like Amy Kay is giving us a whole new way of approaching not just taking the first step, but the entire journey of life.
I agree. Her message is a powerful reminder that we have the power to create the life we want, one small step at a time.
And that the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
Exactly.
It's like she's giving us permission
Yeah.
to embrace uncertainty and trust that we have the strength and resilience to navigate whatever challenges come our way.
And to remember that we don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Amy Kay encourages us to seek support from others, whether it's friends, family, or a professional coach.
I love that it's a reminder that we're all in this together and we can help each other through those moments of doubt and uncertainty.
Exactly. And when we share our struggles and triumphs with others,
Yeah.
we create a sense of connection and community that can make the journey even more rewarding.
This conversation has been so inspiring. I feel like Amy Kay has given us a roadmap for not only taking the first step, but for embracing the entire journey of life with courage, curiosity, and a sense of adventure.
I agree. Her message is a gift, and I hope our listeners feel empowered to take those small steps and create the life they've always dreamed of.
I do too. And if our listeners are feeling inspired to learn more from Amy Kay, we'll share her contact information at the end of this deep dive. But for now, let's delve a little deeper into the concept of microactions.
Oh,
Can you give us some more specific examples of how we can apply this strategy to different areas of our lives?
of course. Let's start with the area of personal growth.
Okay.
Let's say you've been wanting to develop a more positive mindset, but struggle with negative self-talk.
Right.
A microaction could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day,
Okay.
or replacing one negative thought with a positive affirmation.
That's a great example of how we can start to shift our thinking patterns in a subtle but powerful way.
Exactly. And it's not about forcing ourselves to be positive all the time, but rather about consciously choosing to focus on the good in our lives.
I love that it's about cultivating a more optimistic outlook, one small step at a time.
Precisely. Now let's move on to the realm of relationships.
Okay.
Let's say you've been wanting to improve your communication with your partner, but find yourself falling into old patterns of arguing or withdrawing.
Right.
A microaction could be as simple as actively listening to your partner for 5 minutes each day without interrupting or offering advice.
That's a great suggestion. It's about making a conscious effort to be more present and attentive in our interactions with our loved ones.
Exactly. And it's about creating a safe space for open and honest communication.
I can see how that small shift in behavior could have a profound impact on the quality of our relationships.
It can. Now, let's consider the area of career.
Okay.
Let's say you've been feeling stuck in your current job and longing for a change, but feel overwhelmed by the thought of searching for a new position.
I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of career stagnation. What kind of microaction would Amy Kay suggest in that scenario?
She might recommend starting by updating your resume and LinkedIn profile, or reaching out to a few people in your network to explore potential opportunities.
Okay.
It's about taking small steps to gain clarity and momentum in your career journey.
Those are great ideas. It's about taking action even when we don't have all the answers, trusting that the path will become clearer as we move forward.
Exactly. And it's about embracing the possibility of unexpected opportunities that may arise along the way.
This is making me think about Amy Kay's background in leadership coaching.
Yeah,
I'm curious, does she apply the principle of microactions to leadership development as well?
absolutely. She believes that effective leadership is built on a foundation of small, consistent actions. She encourages leaders to focus on developing one key skill at a time,
Okay.
whether it's communication, delegation, or decision-making.
So it's about approaching leadership development as a journey of continuous improvement, rather than striving for some unattainable ideal.
Exactly. And it's about empowering team members to take ownership and contribute their unique talents and perspectives.
I love that it's about creating a culture of collaboration and growth, within organizations.
Precisely. And by fostering this type of environment,
Yeah.
leaders can inspire their teams to achieve extraordinary results.
This conversation has been so enlightening. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of Amy Kay's wisdom and insights.
I agree. There's so much more to explore.
Yeah.
And I encourage our listeners to delve deeper into her work.
We'll definitely provide her contact information at the end of this deep dive.
Okay.
But for now, let's shift gears and talk about another key aspect of Amy Kay's approach: the role of self-compassion in taking the first step and navigating uncertainty. Can you elaborate on how self-compassion plays into this process?
Of course, Amy Kay emphasizes that self-compassion is essential when it comes to taking risks and stepping outside of our comfort zones.
Okay.
She reminds us that it's okay to make mistakes, to feel fear, and to stumble along the way.
So it's about treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, especially when we're facing challenges.
Exactly. And it's about recognizing that we're all works in progress,
Right.
constantly learning and growing. She encourages us to cultivate a supportive inner voice
Right.
that offers encouragement rather than criticism.
That's such an important message. It's easy to be our own worst critics.
Right.
But Amy Kay reminds us that we deserve our own compassion and support.
Absolutely. And when we practice self-compassion,
Yeah.
we create a more resilient foundation for growth and transformation.
Right.
We're more likely to take risks,
Mm-hmm.
to persevere through setbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and to embrace the journey of becoming our best selves.
This is making me think about Amy Kay's background in ministry. I'm curious, does her faith inform her approach to coaching and leadership development?
It does. She draws inspiration from her faith,
Okay.
emphasizing the importance of purpose, service, and connection.
That's beautiful. It sounds like her faith provides a framework for living a meaningful and fulfilling life.
It does, and it informs her belief in the inherent worth and potential of every individual.
I love that it's a reminder that we're all capable of greatness, no matter our background or circumstances.
Exactly, and that we all have a unique contribution to make to the world.
This conversation has been so inspiring. I feel like we've gained a deeper understanding of Amy Kay's philosophy and how it can empower us to create positive change in our lives.
I agree. It's been a privilege to explore her work and share her insights with our listeners.
And speaking of our listeners, I'm curious to know what's resonating with them so far. What are some of the key takeaways or aha moments that they're experiencing?
I'd love to hear their thoughts as well.
Yeah.
We encourage you to share your insights and reflections with us.
We're eager to learn from you and continue this conversation together, but for now,
Sure.
let's dive a little deeper into the practical application of Amy Kay's strategies.
Sure.
Can you share some specific examples of how we can use microactions to achieve our goals in different areas of our lives?
Of course, let's start with the area of health and wellness.
Okay.
Let's say you've been wanting to improve your diet, but struggle with making healthy choices consistently.
Right.
A microaction could be as simple as replacing one sugary drink with water each day,
Okay.
or adding an extra serving of vegetables to your dinner.
Those are great examples.
Yeah.
It's about making small, sustainable changes that gradually add up over time.
Exactly. And it's about focusing on progress, not perfection.
Right.
We don't have to overhaul our entire diet overnight.
Mm-hmm.
We can start with one small step and build from there.
I love that it's about taking a gentle and compassionate approach to creating healthy habits.
Precisely. Now let's move on to the realm of personal finances.
Okay.
Let's say you've been wanting to save more money,
Mm.
but find it difficult to stick to a budget.
Right.
A microaction could be as simple as tracking your spending for a week
Right.
or setting up automatic transfers to your savings account.
Those are great ideas.
Ah,
It's about taking control of our finances one small step at a time.
exactly. And it's about developing a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity.
Mm.
We don't have to deprive ourselves to save money. We can start by making conscious choices and finding creative ways to manage our resources.
I love that it's about shifting our perspective and empowering ourselves to make positive financial decisions.
Precisely. Now, let's consider the area of creativity and self-expression.
Okay.
Let's say you've been wanting to write a novel, but
Yeah.
feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task.
I think many aspiring writers can relate to that feeling of being daunted by a blank page. What kind of microaction would Amy Kay suggest in that scenario?
She might recommend starting by writing for 15 minutes each day,
Okay.
or setting a goal of writing one page per week.
Okay.
It's about breaking down that overwhelming goal into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Those are great suggestions. It's about creating a routine and building momentum one step at a time.
Exactly. And it's about giving ourselves permission to experiment, to play, and to enjoy the creative process without judgment.
I love that it's about rediscovering the joy of writing and letting our imaginations soar.
Precisely. And as we continue to take those small steps, we may be surprised by the depths of our own creativity.
This conversation has been so insightful. I feel like we've gained a deeper understanding of how to apply Amy Kay's principles to different areas of our lives.
I agree. It's been a privilege to explore her work and share her wisdom with our listeners.
And speaking of our listeners, I'm curious to know what's resonating with them so far. What are some of the challenges they're facing when it comes to taking that first step?
I'd love to hear their thoughts as well. We encourage you to share your struggles and triumphs with us.
We're here to support you on your journey, but for now,
Okay.
let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with more insights from Amy Kay's article, Taking the First Step in Uncertainty.
Great.
Sounds good.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right, see ya.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay, so I'm ready for more Amy Kay.
Yeah, one of the things that really struck me about Amy Kay's article was her emphasis on the power of reframing.
Okay, so can you elaborate on what she means by that?
Yeah, so she suggests that the way we frame a situation can significantly impact our ability to actually take action. Like, for example,
Okay.
instead of viewing a new challenge as this daunting obstacle, we can try to reframe it as an exciting opportunity for growth.
So it's about shifting our perspective and focusing on the positive potential instead of just the risks.
Exactly. And Amy Kay offers some really practical tips for reframing.
Okay.
She suggests asking ourselves questions like, what's the best possible outcome?
Okay.
Or what can I learn from this experience? And by focusing on these positive aspects, we can shift our mindset from fear to excitement.
I love that it's about empowering ourselves to approach challenges with a sense of optimism and curiosity.
Precisely. And it's about recognizing that even setbacks and failures can be valuable learning experiences.
Yeah, that's a powerful reminder. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but Amy Kay reminds us that every experience, both positive and negative, can contribute to our growth.
Absolutely. And she encourages us to view setbacks as opportunities to course correct.
Okay.
And just kind of refine our approach.
This makes me think about Amy Kay's background in management. I'm curious, how has her experience in that field informed her approach to coaching and leadership development?
Oh, it's played a significant role.
Okay.
Her experience in managing teams has given her a deep understanding of the dynamics of human interaction and the importance of clear communication.
So she brings a practical, real-world perspective to her work.
She does, and she emphasizes the importance of creating a culture of trust and psychological safety within teams, where individuals feel comfortable taking risks and sharing their ideas.
I love that it's about fostering an environment where people feel supported and empowered to contribute their best.
Exactly, and Amy Kay believes that this type of environment is essential for innovation and growth.
This conversation's been so inspiring. I feel like Amy Kay is giving us permission to embrace uncertainty and just approach life with a sense of adventure.
I agree. Her message is a powerful reminder that we have the capacity to create the life we want, one small step at a time.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one key takeaway that you hope our listeners will remember?
I hope they'll remember that it's never too late to start, that even the smallest step can make a difference.
Right.
And that they have the power to create a life that is truly fulfilling.
Beautifully said. It's like Amy Kay's saying, the journey starts now.
Yeah.
Take that first step and trust that the path will unfold as it should.
And if our listeners are feeling inspired to connect with Amy Kay and learn more from her, they can find her contact information at amykwatson.com.
Perfect. We'll make sure to include that link in the show notes as well. So to our listeners out there, what's one small step you can take today towards something you've been putting off?
Good question.
Remember, the power is in your hands to start creating the life you want. Yeah, that idea that the journey starts now.
It is powerful.
It is.
And it kind of reminds me of another key point that Amy Kay makes.
Right.
About taking small steps. It isn't just about achieving external goals.
Okay, so there's more to it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
It's also about personal growth and self-discovery. Each step, no matter how small it is It builds our confidence and our resilience.
Okay.
Like we're teaching ourselves that we can handle challenges
Right.
and adapt to new situations.
It's almost like we're doing these mini experiments.
Yeah,
And we get to test ourselves and discover what we're really capable of.
exactly. And it's through those experiments
Yeah.
that we uncover hidden potential
Right.
and start to see ourselves as capable, resourceful people.
I think so often we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of failing or not being perfect.
Well, Amy Kay addresses that.
Okay.
She says it's okay to be imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes are inevitable,
Right.
and they're actually essential for growth.
Okay.
It's through our missteps that we learn and evolve.
So it's about embracing the messiness of the process.
Mm-hmm.
The learning that comes from trying and sometimes not getting it quite right.
Exactly. And it's about being kind to ourselves along the way.
Mm.
Amy Kay emphasizes the importance of self-compassion,
Right.
especially when we encounter setbacks.
That makes so much sense. It's like being our own cheerleader,
Yeah.
offering ourselves support and encouragement
Yeah.
instead of just harsh criticism.
Yes, and she reminds us that we don't have to do it alone.
Right.
We can lean on our friends and family or professional coach for guidance and support.
Okay, this all kind of ties back to Amy Kay's own journey, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She started in ministry,
Mm-hmm.
then moved into management and retail and higher education.
Right.
And now she's a successful leadership coach. And this all comes from Amy K. Watson, who's also trained in internal family systems, applications for coaching, and presence-based coaching,
Wow.
and has a particular skill in helping people deal with everyday anxieties.
Her diverse background has definitely shaped her approach,
Yeah.
giving her this unique perspective on human behavior and the challenges we all face.
It's inspiring to see how she's used her own experiences to empower others to create positive change.
It is, and her message is just a reminder that we all have a unique journey.
Yeah.
And it's never too late to start creating the life we want.
So to our listeners out there, what's one small step that you can take today towards something you've been putting off? Remember, the power is in your hands.
And if you're feeling inspired to learn more from Amy Kay, that's easy. Just go to amykwatson.com and look for the contact info.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into taking the first step in uncertainty. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep taking those first steps.